everybody, it's Sarah, and I am coming to you with my very first Project Life Process video for the Scrappery. I have all of my kits now. They have arrived all the way from Australia, and they are so much fun. They are the Claudia kits, and here you can see that I have some leaves that I've cut out from some of those beautiful Pink Fresh Studio papers. And I just used my silhouette to cut out some leaves, and I used my sewing machine to add some gold thread, kind of like the spine of the leaf going up the top, middle. And then the layout that I'm going to do is actually a trip to an apple orchard. My youngest daughter, Lila, had her very first kindergarten field trip, and I got to go along, so that was really fun. And I do Project Life weekly, and I also do like big events. Like if we go to the zoo, I'll do a full 2-page spread. If we, go to the beach, I'll do probably a whole full-page spread on that too. So this is one of the events that I chose to do a full 2-page spread on because I had so many really nice pictures of that day. Here I've got a 4x6. It's actually white, but it's actually the reverse side of one of the papers from Pink Fresh Studio. And I sewed around the edge with my gold thread. And then I added some of those leaves, and I also grabbed some cork sheets from my stash, and I've got some Lawn Fawn dies that are called small stitched leaves, and I did a few of those with cork. And I've also got a few tiny word stickers. Those are really old ones from Webster's Pages. They're like a year or two old, and they're just wood grain, everyday kind of tiny letter stickers. And I'm going to add my title on there, and it will say eventually field trip to the orchard. Those are the beautiful gold glitter thickers that we got in the kit. And then I also printed out a bunch of the labels that the beautiful Claudia created for us. She did a ton of like A4 papers. There's a sheet of labels, there's a sheet of ephemera, there are a ton of Project Life cards. I printed all of those out just at home on my printer, and they printed absolutely gorgeous. The colors are amazing. She's so talented, and I feel so lucky that I get to work not only with the Scrappery kits, but also with Claudia's beautiful designs. There I grabbed my Heidi Shine, and I gave it a splash with some gold, and then I also grabbed just a few enamel dots and Kaiser Craft gems out of my stash to add there. I'm just trying to bring in a little bit of all of the colors from the collection. There's a light mint, there's indigo hills, and indigo blue. There's a kind of a green, there's a mustard. There's a lot of really fun colors, and obviously gold. So I kind of wanted to bring all of those colors in with using enamel dots and embellishments on my title card. My title cards usually kind of set the tone for my whole layout. And now I'm going to move on to my next card. I usually do my whole 2-page spread ahead of me or in front of me at once, but it's really much easier to film with just half of it. Now I am going through the ephemera kit to see what little pieces of ephemera I want to use. Those are tiny word labels that Claudia designed from the cutout sheet, and that is my favorite thing to do on those little 3x4 pictures, is to not really over embellish them, because if you put a lot of embellishments on a 3x4 picture, you kind of lose the picture a little bit. So that's kind of my go-to for those 3x4 pictures, is just a tiny word sticker or a label word cutout or something like that usually. So there I chose that Pink Lovely, and I'm going to run it through my sewing machine, which I have next to me and turned on all the time. Like I said, right now I've got some just inexpensive gold thread from the craft store in there, and I'm going to embellish that 4x6 just a little bit. I print all of my pictures from Persnickety Prints. I do their photographic matte prints so they don't have so much glare. And then I also put my pictures through Lightroom to lighten them and to add my white borders. I really like the look of white borders, especially on Project Life pictures. So I added one of those exclusive wood veneer hearts onto that Lovely and an enamel dot and a gem. And now I'm going to put that beautiful cutout onto the picture of that tree. The trees were just beautiful that week, and I took a ton of pictures, not only that week, but also at the orchard there. So I did add a couple of strips with the gold thread there, and I'm just going to embellish with, that is just a leaf that I use that same Lawn Fawn dye and some glitter cardstock that I just had in my stash. So I've got in that little bowl there, I've got some cork leaves and some glitter leaves, and then also leaves that I cut out from different Indigo Hills patterned papers that came in the kit. And now I'm going to move on to those two 3x4s. The one on the left is a cut of patterned paper, and then the one on the right is one of Claudia's exclusive designs that I printed out and cut myself. I just got a cheap pack of paper at the craft store. It was like 65-pound cardstock, and it went through my home printer just fine. I don't have a very fancy or very nice printer at all, and I was very impressed with how well it printed out. Here I've got a puffy sticker that says enjoy. I just put that on one of the exclusive labels, and I use my tiny attacher to attach the label. And then I'm just going to, again, add an enamel dot and a gem. And now that is one of the tags that Renelle put in with the little bits and pieces. And there's also some of that beautiful baker's twine in that dark indigo blue. So I just replaced the white that it came with that indigo. And I'm also going to fiddle for quite a while with that sticky rubber tag to try to get some of that baker's twine through it. That was kind of tricky because I probably should have cut a little bit more out because I like to put the twine through twice. So I probably should have used a little bit more there, but I did get it to work in the end. And I am using my Tombow Mono multi-adhesive and my Tombow Mono runner. They have been working for me just great lately, especially with all the resin and cork bits and everything else. That Tombow Mono multi especially has really been handy, and it does take a little bit to dry, but once it's dry, it's just amazing. And I'm going for some more enamel dots. I really wanted to grab that kind of mustard yellow and then that kind of almost somewhere between an olive green and a mustard yellow color too. Now I'm just going to add a few enamel dots to that filler card that I made. And my camera is going to die. Yep, there my camera died. So what I did while my camera was cooling down was I just I typed out my journaling on my typewriter, cut it out, and for a very boring 10 minutes, cut it all out and glued it onto that piece of beautiful patterned 3x4 card that Claudia made. And I just added some Heidi Shine and some enamel dots and sequins. Now that pocket that I just made with my sewing machine is a Becky Higgins Fuse brand 4x6 pocket. And I just grabbed out some of the gold and the yellow and the blue sequins from the exclusive mix that Renelle made for the Claudia kits. I dumped it in there and I sewed it shut with my sewing machine. So now when I go to put this into my album, I will just pop the picture into the pocket page, and then I'll use some American Crafts red tape to just adhere that to the front of my pocket page. So it kind of flips up, but it will have more of a shaker element in it. I like to do that a lot. Then on top of that, I added an ephemera piece that says magic. I added of with those little Webster's Pages wood grain tiny letters, and then I added fall with the big glitter thickers that are in the main kit. Ahead of time, I cut down that mustard colored pattern paper up on the top, and I added one of the doilies that came in the kits, and then I just sewed around with my sewing machine in the gold thread again, because watching me sew is painfully boring. And now that 3x4 card with the blue splatter on there, I took a diagonal cut of the beautiful vellum and gold foiled paper that came in the kit, and I sewed that on with my sewing machine, and I'm going to use that like a little pocket to add some extra ephemera. And that was a really good opportunity for me to use one of those beautiful wooden paper clips in the kit too. Those are just gorgeous. And I'm going to add a few of the leaves that I made and a cork leaf also. And I'm going to glue that down, tuck that in the pocket, and glue that little leaf down with my Tombow Mono multi. And then I put a little piece of ephemera, and I don't remember what it says, all smiles here, and I did pop that up on 2 little pop dots to have that stick out just a little bit. I don't mind my project life being kind of chunky. So there again, I used another one of the beautiful word labels that Claudia created. Grabbed my tiny attacher and added that over the pumpkin. It says A is for amazing. There's another one of those gorgeous heart wood veneers that are exclusive to the kits. And it looks like I'm getting close to done there. I've got a really fun mint green puffy sticker from Indigo Hills. And I think it says remember. Now I'm just figuring out what to do with that last card in the upper right there. And I grab the rest of the leaves that I made. And then that cork piece is actually cut out from the Confetti by Maggie Holmes die set. That one had a bunch of flowers and leaves and stuff in it too. I just pulled that one out of my stash. I had it already made for another project, and I thought, ooh, that's going to work just perfect here. And another little glitter leaf to bring in a little bit more of that gold. I really like to try to have the both sides of my project life kind of balance. So if I use an element on the right side, I always try to use it on the left side so the layout looks cohesive. There I've got that gorgeous Remember exclusive resin piece from the kit. And I'm just going to add some enamel dots and some gems, of course. And then I decide to add a little bit more, and now it's going to say always remember. And today I think I put on the bottom. And I had just clipped my fingernails, so goofing around with these tiny little stickers was just torture tonight. Yep, always remember today. And that is going to about do it, ladies. I've got some close-ups on the end. I'm going to hit this with some more gold Heidi Shine, of course. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week. And you will be seeing lots more Project Life and lots more projects from me in general for the Scrappery. So thank you, ladies. Bye.